made a video a while back on how to grow in containers, and the #1 comment I got was, big pots are expensive. So in this video today, I'm going to show you the 3 things that I did to make my pots look bigger. If you were visiting my garden today, I would show you step by step how to do these 3 things to make your pots look bigger too. So let's go. When I see containers in other people's gardens that don't work, it's almost never the pot. And it's certainly not the plant. It's this. A single solitary plant sitting on the ground all by itself can never match the impact that what I'm going to show you next will. But that same plant, put it with others, create a grouping, game changer. And here's the reason why a grouping works. When this plant was down on the ground, the eye reads it as one single plant. So it's a 6-inch pot, and because it's got arching foliage, maximum 14 inches. But when you put it together and create a grouping, the eye reads this entire grouping as one thing. So suddenly a 6-inch pot has the same visual effect as all of these together, 28 inches by 36 inches. So all you've done is visually expand the impact that a tiny single solitary plant in a container will have in your garden. None of these are that big. It's the idea that they borrow from each other. They add substance when they're together. They add weight. And you can see I did it on the other side as well. Now, I do have mine elevated on a garden table, but you don't have to. If you don't have a table, you can achieve the same effect by grouping them together on the ground, on your patio, next to your favorite reading spot. It's the idea that they are together. They're borrowing visual weight from each other. So if #1 was make a pot look bigger by grouping it with others, #2 is make a pot look bigger by putting it up on a platform or a pedestal. This is kind of a forgotten corner, but I still wanted to dress it up, and I really wanted a pot that was a little bit bigger. I just couldn't find the right thing. So I decided to take the pot that I had and raise it up by using cinder blocks. Let me move the camera and show you up close. So here's the platform I created with cinder blocks, and I chose them for a couple of reasons. #1, they can support a tremendous amount of weight, and #2, you just lay them on the ground. You don't have to hammer or nail them together. So you just put them in place. Let me go to the table and show you exactly what I did. I want to show you how easy it is to do this. These are the ones that I chose, the ones with the 2 pockets. It gives you about 6 inches of additional height, and it gives you a place to plant. So all you have to do, and these run about $2.80 where I live. So you're going to make your platform, and you don't have to have ones that are directly under the pot. You can just put them around the perimeter if you don't want to buy any more than is necessary. But you're just going to take soil and fill up the holes. And then one of the beauties of container gardening is I also use this as a way to propagate my ground cover, so that I not only enjoy it as a potted plant, it looks beautiful in the garden, but what I'm really doing is rooting additional cuttings so that when I want to spread them to new beds or use them for something like this, they're right here handy and ready to go. Let me show you. I've got a bunch of beautifully rooted cuttings that I'm going to plant in my pockets. And what most people forget is that in order to disguise this, you're also going to dig a little bit of a trench and plant rooted cuttings along the bottom. Because for me, I wanted this to be covered as quickly as possible. And if I had to do it over again, I would have painted this black. But at the time, I didn't think about it, and I guess because my gravel is gray, it kind of blended and it didn't really stick out enough to make me think, ooh, I should paint that. But if I had to do it over again, or if I do another one, I'm definitely going to paint this black. and you're just going to completely cover the perimeter of your platform, and before you know it, these will grow in and these will spill over. I said that it will give you an additional 6 inches of height, but I think actually it's closer to 8 inches. Every little bit helps. Here's another example. Without this pedestal, this pot is only 18 inches, but by elevating it, it reads as one unit, 53 inches. If this were sitting on the ground, it wouldn't have nearly the impact. So this is a pedestal or a plinth or a cube, but you could easily duplicate it by taking a square pot and inverting it, or going to the salvage yard and finding something that is square and solid, inverting it and painting it. Using your imagination, you could find so many cool ways to do this. Third best way to make a pot look bigger, add a trellis. This is a project that I am working on, but I want to include it here even though it's not finished, just to show you. So this little pot here is 18.5 inches. So by adding a trellis, I can take a medium-sized pot and make it spectacular. Now, let me show you the number one thing that I get the most comments on in my garden. When people come to my garden, they go straight to what I'm going to show you next. And let me break it down for you step by step in case you want to add one to your own garden. So here it is. This has become the centerpiece, the focal point of my garden. So by combining all three elements, taking a pot you wish was bigger, putting it up on a pedestal, and adding vertical height by adding a trellis, you can create a spectacular centerpiece in your garden. So let me show you piece by piece and step by step how I built this pedestal for free. So now I want to help you put it all together and show you how few things you need to make something spectacular for your own garden. You're going to need, of course, your container, whichever one you think is too small. We're going to add volume to it. So let's start with the pedestal. You need 5 pieces of plywood or scrap. My neighbor was remodeling his shower and he had scraps of hardy board, which if you're not familiar is sheetrock with a little bit of cement mixed in. But you could easily use scraps of plywood or wood. You would just need to make sure that you use multiple layers of exterior house paint or Rust-Oleum. I tend to use Rust-Oleum for everything. So you need to make a box, 4 sides and a bottom with a hole for your drainage. So let me move the camera closer and show you the trick to support all the weight. Once you have your box built for your pedestal, obviously something this thin is not going to support all the weight. So underneath it, you're going to put a cinder block. And on top of that, you're going to put your pedestal. Now, just for purposes of this illustration, my box is too shallow. It doesn't go all the way to the ground. But the point I want to make is that the cinder block is what's going to support all of the weight. So I've got cinder block, I've got an inverted box, and on top of that, I'm going to put my planter. Now, I'm lining up the hole in the planter with the hole in the pedestal. So now for the irrigation. You're going to feed your irrigation, your drip tubing, up through the bottom of the pedestal, through the bottom of the container. But here's what most people get wrong. I don't like these single emitters. I never use those. Instead, I like to get the laser cut drip tubing. Use a T-square or use the T connector and connect that to what's coming up through the bottom, because that will give you a beautifully even watered surface. Instead of the water being concentrated in one spot and me needing to run it long enough to fill the entire pot or to water the entire pot, I get much better coverage. The water goes where the plant really needs it, and it's even. Now, one last trick. When you have a pot that you want to fill as fast as possible, instead of buying a bigger plant and wishing that it would fill in faster, I buy a 1-gallon pot. I use my trusty steak knife to cut it in half, and then I plant it on each side of the pot. And by doing that, I'm not only saving money, I'm giving the plant plenty of room to grow and fill in, and that's exactly what it's going to do. One last tip, if you do end up with a little bit of a gap around the bottom of your pedestal, just use a leafy ground cover. I use Pachysandra, Japanese spurge, for almost anything, but my goodness, find something else in your garden, a ground cover that you like, and plant it, dig a little trench, plant it to disguise this, and you will add continuity and you'll give this a beautiful finishing touch. So I hope I've convinced you that you don't necessarily need to run out and buy bigger pots. I've shown you 3 ways to make the pots you already have look bigger. Give them more volume by grouping them together, raise them up by building a pedestal, and number 3, make them taller by adding a trellis. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for watching my videos and all of your comments. Let me know in the comments if you're going to try any of these and how that worked out for you. I would love to know. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.